Hey everybody, Southeast Texas Gardener. Getting ready for another glorious planting season for 2020. I want to talk about real quick. Last fall, or last year at some point, I raked up all these, let me back up. These aren't the actual leaves, but I had raked up all these leaves from these oak trees, let them sit right here, and they reduced by half and created compost. I didn't turn them, I didn't do anything. I pulled them out, stirred them up, and had the best leaf mold or compost or whatever you want to call it. It was great. I applied it to a bunch of my beds here, and a while ago I raked up these 5 for next year. Now, these are reduced by half. If you want, you could add more. And if you really want to do it good, you turn it with a shovel and you'll just have buckets. Now each one of these buckets have holes in the bottom for drainage. You know, these are old beat up garbage cans I've acquired over the years. Those holes introduce night crawlers. You wouldn't believe the amount of night crawlers I pulled out of these. It was crazy. This is my regular compost. This year's starting off okay. This big bed here, for the past couple of years I've been throwing every vegetable scrap that I'm from the tugboat that I've been saving. So all this is the result of bags and bags and bags of vegetable scraps. So this at one time used to be tomatoes, lettuce, whatever. And I put a bunch of squash and I realized they're way too close and I'm making a mistake, but I just want to see how the bed performs. This bed has seen better days. It's got a bunch of rot, termite. I'm not even sure what I'm planting in here yet. I've got a couple of small rows of potatoes. I have the gating over the top to deter the squirrels as best I can, because they'll dig them up. All these beds have been tilled pretty deep, except the ones that already had peppers from last year. Anyway, these are straight 8 cucumbers I'm trying. All these beds have been amended with leaf mold, table scraps, just organic matter, grass clippings, all that stuff. Now these peppers are carries over from last year. Carryovers. Now they were really tall, and I started getting new growth here at the bottom, so I just snipped them off, and we'll see what's going to happen. Now these two are new. These are like a purple bell pepper. See, they were all like this, looking bad. I was still getting peppers off of them, but I saw new growth, and I figured, you know what? Let me try and see what's going to happen. If I get, better, stronger plants, because they've been in the ground for over a year. So, see what happens. A couple of more squash right here. Some more burpless cucumbers. Now, you've seen this before. The idea is that they grow like around. Last year I wasn't that successful. I wasn't that successful with cucumbers in general, but the first time I ever did this, I had a cucumber canopy and they were hanging below, and it was awesome, and I'm yet to create that same thing. This bed has nothing in it yet. This, I don't know what this is. If anybody knows, tell me. This was actually growing in my potato bed. It looked like some sort of flower, wildflower, so I just dug it up and threw it in here, and it's been sprouting off, so we'll see what happens. This is a volunteer tomato as well as that one. It's either a result from all the table scraps I've been throwing in here, or from the tomatoes that were here last year that have fallen. I believe they're cherry type. I think there's one over here. Yeah. Cabbage. This one here this morning was uprooted, laying over here in a big hole dug. I know a coon probably did it, because I use that MicroLife fertilizer, and that smells like dog food kind of. So I don't know if the raccoon was looking for something, but these purple onions are actually left over from the ones I tried to do last year. I just left them, and they survived, and whether or not they're going to bulb out, I don't know. I've just been pushing away at the bottom to give them room if they do. I also added some garlic in here. Let's see if I can't get some garlic. And this is like the result of that leaf mold I was telling you about in the bottom of them barrels. So we'll see what happens. That's also a volunteer tomato. It sprouted up all by itself. I don't know what these are, Better Bush or something. Just planted these a couple days ago. This is my great big rosemary stand that I put here a couple years ago. Man, it's awesome. That's also a volunteer tomato. I'm gonna try some different herbs. I got lemon balm, peppermint, sweet mint, and just mint. We'll see what happens. My giant lemons. I just finished pruning this back. I couldn't even walk in between here. It was so overgrown. But all these are from, carryovers from last year. They're kind of soft and they're extreme. With 2 of these, you'll probably get a cup of juice. They're loaded with juice. And I've used so many of these. I've given so many away. And it's just, this past year was a bumper crop. And I hate to see them go to waste, but they're just going to eventually fall. But anyway, here's to a productive 2020, and we'll see if we can get something going. Thanks for watching. I'll post updates hopefully a couple times a month, and we gone.